Hi, just want to look at a couple more interesting artifacts. This World War I memorial plaque was found by a friend of mine in Washington State in an antique shop. Interestingly enough, they had it described as a Dutch memorial plaque. Well, it's pretty close. It's Deutsch, German. When he picked it up, there was no picture in the circular oval. It had been removed. The glass had been removed. The frame had been removed. And there was a Maltese cross that had been inset by two pins that had also been removed. Well, after due diligence, we decided that if we left this blank, that somebody would come along, take a World War I German postcard, cut the guy out into an oval, put it in, glass it in, and so forth. And I thought, we don't really like to see that done. Then he's sort of indicating that this is the guy who is mentioned here, and this man was killed for his country. It's a thing to say he believed in his country and died for Germany and the fatherland and so forth. Not named or no regiments and so forth. So what we did is a friend of mine went online and found some studio pictures of American actor called Louis Wilhelm, who played Sergeant Kaczynski in the 1930 All Quiet on the Western Front. Looks like quite a hard-boiled German character. So we downloaded those and cut that out, mounted that in there. People call him and say, he's a tough-looking nut, looks really good, and I say, that's right. So this way, there'll never be somebody saying, oh, this is the guy, this was definitely the soldier who was killed and so forth. I try and avoid tampering with history, so this is a sort of the other way to put a picture in here without doing that. Now this is the most mundane of artifacts, just being an actual trench shovel. This is not one of the choice glitzy pieces that people say, oh, isn't that wonderful? It's just an old shovel. I got it from an old collector buddy of mine back in the 1980s, and his great uncle had been an officer in the 2nd Canadian Infantry Battalion in World War I. And I went over to visit him and see this chest of treasures. And it was full of German helmets and side caps and maps and all type of bric-a-brac that he had souvenired during the World War. And included in the trunk was this shovel. And my buddy said, can you imagine my great uncle bringing back this piece of junk, like an old shovel with all this German other stuff? And I said, hey, I'll trade you for this. So I made him a trade. It is marked AIM Special, C AIM Special. It would be a World War I Canadian shovel for actually digging trenches and work parties to go out and make fortifications and redoubts and so forth. It wasn't normally carried with equipment. You'll sometimes see it carried by soldiers shoved down behind their back equipment, maybe with the spade sticking up slightly over the head. But it is a Canadian World War I Army shovel, and I have never seen another one. I'm sure there must be more out there, but I've never seen one in umpteen years, and its authenticity and everything is without fail. So it's an original WW1 piece of the highest degree, I think. Thank you.